you're looking to buy a VR headset in 2024, you may be confused by all the different options available to you. I own 5 popular VR headsets, and this video is going to share my impressions of using these VR headsets, discussing the pros and cons in an effort to help you decide which one is best for you. I'll also discuss a few other VR headsets that I've used in an effort to provide my opinion on who these are a good fit for. I'm Andrew from VR Lowdown, and let's get started. The first headset I'm going to discuss is the Meta Quest 3. This is the latest headset from Meta and replaces the older Meta Quest 2. It's a standalone headset, but is an incredibly versatile all-rounder. It has really excellent visuals with 2 panels that provide a resolution of 2064 by 2208 per eye. It has absolutely exquisite pancake lenses that produce very clear visuals across a significant portion of your field of view. The Meta Quest 3 is an excellent standalone VR headset, and the amount of content on the Meta platform is really very impressive now. In addition to it being a great standalone VR headset, it can also be connected to a VR-ready PC via a USB-C cable or even wirelessly, allowing you to play all the PC VR content you want to play. As a result, this is a headset that really can do everything. It's not the best at any one area, but it does everything really well. The visuals are at a level where you can play games and become completely immersed. You can watch media content without worrying about things looking pixelated or fuzzy. You can connect to a VR-ready PC and play all the content that you want with virtually no issues. The drawback of the Quest 3 is that it costs almost $500 or about £480 for the base model. If you want to add extra storage, it's more expensive again. For this price, you get the headset with a fabric head strap, which isn't desperately comfortable, and you only get about 2 hours of battery life with the headset. As a result, if you buy it and like it, you're highly likely to want to upgrade the head strap for an additional price and probably add an external battery to extend the battery life. This all adds to the cost of buying a Quest 3. For me, I've upgraded my Quest 3 with a battery head strap from Bobo VR. I've made a review covering this head strap, and I'll leave a link in the description below. Whilst this did add to the price of my Quest 3 because I use it a lot, it was money well spent. Overall, I'm delighted with the Quest 3, and this is the headset that I would recommend for 80 to 90% of people looking for a VR headset. There are drawbacks of this headset, but it's probably the one that you should look at first before comparing it with other headsets to decide whether it's right for you. Moving on from the Quest 3, the next headset that I'm going to discuss is the Meta Quest 2. Now, I'm covering 2 headsets from Meta first in this video, but I can assure you that I bought both these headsets with my own money. I have no affiliation with Meta whatsoever. This is not a sponsored video. It's completely impartial, and these are my genuine impressions of both these headsets. So the Quest 2, where the Quest 2 shines is this was the best standalone headset when it was released in October 2020 and for a good few years. It got some competition when the Pico 4 was released in October 2022, but it really wasn't until the Quest 3 was released that it was superseded. Where this shines is you get a significant amount of the functionality that you get with the Quest 3, but this costs half the price. You can currently pick up a Quest 2 for about $250 or £250. And this price is a much easier entry for people who previously haven't owned a VR headset and want to check it out and see what VR is all about without spending a fortune. You can play almost all of the VR games that you can on the Quest 3. It's just the same content platform, and pretty much everything is compatible with the Quest 2, apart from mixed reality content on the Quest 3. You can also use it as a PC VR headset in the same way by tethering it to your PC via a cable or wirelessly. The graphics aren't as good because the internal processing isn't as powerful. The lenses in the Quest 2 are Fresnel lenses, which don't provide as high a degree of clarity, and there is a much smaller sweet spot, so this means that everything looks nice and clear in the center of your vision, but as you move your eyes outward, things start to get more blurry. The field of view is lower than the Quest 3 also, and the overall package just isn't as good as the Quest 3. But despite that, this is a headset that offers incredible value. The next headset that I'm going to discuss is the Pico 4. So this is a headset that was released in October 2022 as a direct competitor to the Quest 3. It is a very impressive headset. It has the same processor as the Quest 2, but it has pancake lenses which provide much better visual clarity compared to the Quest 2, and the visual clarity is much more on a par with the Quest 3. It has two LCD panels that provide a resolution that is just a little bit better than the Quest 3. It's also very light. It's a well-balanced headset. It really is a fantastic package. Where it falls down is that it is a standalone headset that doesn't have the same breadth and depth in its content library, so there isn't as much choice of software and games to play on this headset. In addition, ByteDance have laid off some of their VR division, and they have reportedly cancelled a successor to the Pico 4, so I would worry that there isn't going to be as much support in terms of software updates and also new content for their standalone headset. Where this headset becomes a great option is actually as a PC VR headset. So you can also connect this headset via a USB-C cable to a VR-ready PC and also wirelessly in exactly the same way as Quest 2 and Quest 3. But this only costs £330. It is technically only available in Europe and the UK and in Asia. It's not technically available in the USA, but you can get it. You might just pay a higher price, and many people have got it and it works perfectly fine. So don't let this put you off. Where this headset falls down a little is it's not desperately comfortable. I don't know what it is because it's so well balanced and it's really light, but the rear head cushion is quite hard and not desperately comfortable. The facial interface doesn't fit my face desperately well, and it's also quite firm and not desperately comfortable. I do have a third-party facial interface for the Pico 4, and this improves it a lot. But it's just not as comfortable as it looks like it should be. Overall, a great headset, not one I would choose if you're looking for primarily a standalone headset, but if you want a budget-friendly PC VR headset with great visuals, the Pico 4 is an excellent choice. The next headset that I'm going to discuss is the Pimax Crystal. This is a headset right at the other end of the spectrum compared to the ones that I have discussed so far. The Pimax Crystal is a big and bulky headset that prioritizes visual clarity above all else. And you know what? It does a fantastic job. This headset has the best visuals of any that I have tried so far. It has wonderfully clear QLED panels with a resolution of 2880 by 2880 per eye. It has fantastically clear aspheric lenses and an FOV that is at least as good as the Quest 3, if not slightly better. If visual clarity is the thing that matters to you above all else, the Pimax Crystal is a great headset to go for. It's pretty expensive at $1,600, but it does have inside-out tracking, so you don't need any external base stations, and it does come with controllers. The downside of the Pimax Crystal is that it really is an enthusiast level headset, and it's not one for people who just want to pick up their headset and play and not have any issues. Both the hardware and the software do have drawbacks, and I have had to troubleshoot both at times. It's a very heavy headset and it's very bulky. When you wear it, it does feel heavy. It feels front heavy. It presses against your face. It's not desperately comfortable for long periods of use. Now, having said that, I use this headset for playing flight simulators primarily. So I'm sitting at my desk, I'm not really moving around, and I can quite happily wear this for several hours without any great issues. Where I wouldn't be using this headset is for room scale activities where you're leaping about, because this headset is going to rattle around your face and get pretty uncomfortable. One other awesome feature with this headset is that it has eye tracking. So you put it on and it automatically adjusts to your IPD. You don't need to do anything. You just hear a little motor working and the IPD will be set perfectly. In addition, eye tracking allows for foveated rendering. The eye tracking and foveated rendering on the Pimax Crystal should not be underestimated. This greatly decreases the processing requirements required to run this headset. With panel resolutions of 2880 by 2880 per eye, this is a headset that should bring even the most powerful computer to its knees. And this was the case when I first got this headset. But subsequent software updates that have improved and perfected the eye tracking and foveated rendering mean that I can now play my favorite flight simulator, DCS World, at surprisingly high graphics settings and still achieve a smooth experience. The visuals of the Pimax Crystal are much better than the Quest 3 or pretty much any other headset I've tried. They are incredible. I really enjoy using this headset, but it does have a lot of drawbacks. The next headset that I'm going to talk about is the HP Reverb G2. I'm not going to spend desperately long talking about this headset because it's not one I would recommend that anyone purchase today. This is a headset that I bought as soon as it released, and it has fantastic visual clarity. It has very good Fresnel lenses, but it has a relatively limited FOV. It's, to this day, the most comfortable headset that I have ever used. It has a good audio solution thanks to these off-ear speakers, and it has inside-out tracking that is now pretty good. The reason why I'm not going to spend long discussing this headset, even though I love it and I have used it for years, is that it's a Windows Mixed Reality headset. Unfortunately, Windows Mixed Reality is going to be completely discontinued as of the end of 2026. So if you buy this headset today, the likelihood is that it's going to be an ornament in about 2.5 years. Previously, I recommended this headset as a pretty good value PC VR headset, but no, I think you should give it a miss as of now. The next headset I'm going to discuss is the Big Screen Beyond. This is an incredibly small VR headset that prioritizes comfort and visual clarity above all else. It's a pretty pricey headset at $1,000, and it requires you to buy external tracking stations, it requires you to buy your own controllers, and provide your own audio solution. As a result, if you don't already have these things, it does turn out to be quite an expensive headset. This is a headset that is probably ideal for people who want to consume media on a VR headset while having a very, very comfortable experience. It could also be a good headset for people who want a seated PC VR experience and want a really comfortable headset. The Big Screen Beyond uses two OLED panels with a resolution of 2560 by 2560. This really is impressive, and certainly when I tried it, I was impressed by the visuals, particularly the OLED panels. Where it falls down is that it has a relatively small FOV, and the clarity is really only perfect in the very center of your vision and drops off relatively quickly as you move your eyes out to the sides. The Big Screen Beyond is quite unique in that when you order it, you need to take a measurement of your IPD, as this comes fixed for your headset, and you also scan your face and they make you a custom facial interface. Now this is great because it means that when you wear this headset, the facial interface molds and fits to your face perfectly and provides a perfect light seal. Overall, the Big Screen Beyond is a really impressive VR headset, but it is one for enthusiasts for specific use cases. I think if I was really into watching VR movies, the Big Screen Beyond would appeal to me. I haven't bought the Big Screen Beyond because it doesn't really meet my needs, but there will be a cohort of VR users for which this is an excellent headset. The next headset I'm going to discuss is the Apple Vision Pro. I'm not going to spend too long discussing this headset because there's loads of other review and impression videos out there that you can go and watch. I haven't tried this headset, but I've obviously followed it very, very closely. What I want to say is that this is a hugely impressive headset, both from a hardware and software point of view. I think Apple have done a fantastic job with this headset. Yes, it's very, very expensive, but they really have done a wonderful job. Where it falls down, of course, is the amount of content that is available for the Apple Vision Pro. A lot of people have got them, been very impressed with the hardware and software, but then been left wondering, gosh, what do I do with this headset? One thing I was slightly surprised about with the reviews of the Apple Vision Pro was that it's not as much of a jump ahead of other headsets as I thought it would be, particularly the Quest 3. It's probably a generation ahead, but it's no more than that. We are very much running up against the limits of what's possible with hardware currently. And I do expect that when the Quest Pro 2 comes out, probably at the start of 2025, and when Samsung release their reported headset either at the end of 2024 or into 2025, that the hardware will probably closely match or slightly exceed the Apple Vision Pro. Personally, I'm delighted that Apple have got into the VR space. They have done great things with their hardware and software for a long number of years, and I look forward to what they are going to bring to the table with future headsets over the next few years. I think the competition in the industry is absolutely crucial from a consumer point of view, because I want these companies to push each other on and keep the prices as keen as possible so that we can benefit from the headsets as much as possible. So overall, if you're looking for your first VR headset, this is what I think you should consider. If you're really on a budget, have a look at the Quest 2. It's a good option. It is last gen, but it's still very good. The Quest 3 is my top pick for most people. It's an amazing headset. It is a little pricey, but it's great at standalone, and it's also a fantastic PC VR headset. If you're looking for a budget-friendly PC VR headset, the Pico 4 is hard to go past. If visual clarity is the be-all, end-all for you, then the Pimax Crystal really is a terrific experience. If none of these headsets really appeal to you, or you're still on the fence, don't worry, because as 2024 rolls on and into 2025, we are likely to see other headset releases. The headsets that I'm most excited about over the next 12 months are the Quest Pro 2 and Samsung's reported VR headset. These are likely to be towards the higher end and more expensive VR headsets, but I'm really excited for the technology improvements that these headsets can potentially bring. There is also the potential that Meta brings out the Quest 3 Lite. This has been rumored but not confirmed. If Meta brought out a version of the Quest 3 that was significantly cheaper but kept a lot of the features of the Quest 3, particularly the pancake lenses and the panels, then this would be an absolute no-brainer for somebody looking for their first VR headset. This video is really just sharing my opinion of the VR headsets that I own and some of the other VR headsets that I've tried in an effort to help you decide which VR headset is right for you. Obviously, it is only my opinion, so if you disagree with anything that I've said, or if you've got any questions, please leave a comment below. The more people who chip in, the more informed decisions that people will be able to make about choosing a VR headset. Thanks very much for watching this video, guys. It's been a pleasure as always. If you've enjoyed it, please leave me a like and consider subscribing to the channel. I've also made videos covering most of these headsets, and if you're interested in watching them, I leave links in the description below.